welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love Island UK, Season 11, Episode 32.
Thank you for allowing me to take that break for my birthday. Thank you for the birthday wishes. We are back. We're going to go over the last episode real quickly while we do this episode. You ready, Blair?
Yes.
Let's go.
So, Episode 31 was about reconciliations. Will said that he was sorry and he wanted to walk out of this Love Island experience with Uma.
Okay.
Emma dumped Connor.
Okay.
Grace friend-zoned Blade.
Oh, man.
Reuben and Josh, the new bombshells, took Mimi, Jesse, and Uma out for a date.
Now, here's what I think. Based on the clips I've seen with the whole Grace dumping Blade and Emma dumping Connor, they both just got the ick from like their guys and things like that. Maybe she would have been better if she dated the other guy. What was the Mosiah? Maybe Grace. But Grace, my whole thing is, I understand you came here with Joey. I understand you been played by Joey in some way. But my thing is, hey, you've been here long enough now. It's time for you to get a connection. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So let's get into this new episode.
Okay, so Uma and Will have a chat.
Okay.
She says that things went good on the date.
Okay.
These guys are straight to the point and they know what they want.
Facts.
Reuben is the one that is into her and she wants Will to put in some more effort.
Okay.
She tells him, don't be so laid back. Uma does feel more open now because of the Casa situation. And Will says that, if he doesn't put into work, another man will.
Okay, so Will understands. We all can agree that Will understands what's going on.
Yes.
We don't do we still feel like Will is insensitive to Uma's feelings?
I never felt that way.
Okay, I mean,
but I think that yes, the laughing that was probably overkill on his part. He probably didn't have to laugh in her face about it.
Yeah.
But he's trying to make amends.
Yes. Here's my thing, family. I'm not trying to make it seem like Will is like right. I don't think it's a right and wrong here because technically he is right. But I think Will failed to understand the person and who he's with.
Right.
That you got to learn how to attack them in different ways. Like if you know Uma is this type of person to where like she's monogamous and she's really into you when she's into you, I don't think laughing in that moment would be the right move to make. Right. You know what I mean? Especially since she's not going off of technicalities. She's going off of my feelings are hurt. So now you got to meet her where she is, especially since you want to fix it with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mimi is talking to Nicole and Jess.
Okay.
She said that it was good. This man is 6'4", 29, her type. The girls are telling her that she definitely deserves it. She's happy. She's laughing. And she hasn't laughed in a while. She's actually been crying the past few days.
Okay.
So Nicole asked her, like, what do you think Ayo is going to think? Or do you think he's going to be bothered? And Mimi is not concerned about that.
You shouldn't be.
Rightfully so. Then we move on to Reuben and Josh.
Yeah.
They enjoy their dates. Reuben knows that Uma's situation with Will is pretty strong, but he's prepared to get to grafting.
Okay. Josh
thinks that there is something there with Mimi. He did feel a spark there.
Me too. Okay.
Grace is... No, I'm sorry. Joey and Jesse are talking.
Okay.
And Jesse said that things went well. It brought a sparkle back to the girls, and she was there more so as like a wing woman.
Okay.
The guys think the girls haven't been treated nicely, and they let their opinions be known on these dates.
Wow.
Jesse says that, Joey says that that's how you should be when you come in here, is to let your intentions be known and be straightforward.
Okay.
Joey thinks that he probably should be a bit nervous with Jesse going on a date, but he would prefer that she didn't go on a date, but he trusts their situation and he trusts her. Yeah. Jesse thinks that they do have something good here.
Y'all are boring. That's how I feel about Joey and Jesse. I don't... Yeah. And I don't even know who is the most boring. I don't know if Joey is basically suffering the fact that, hey, Ronnie's not there, long live Turbo. But I'm just like, Joey, you're just there now.
I honestly felt more of a spark between Joey and Grace.
Yeah.
And I felt more of the connection. But this Jesse and Joey situation, I feel like Joey knows he messed up the situation with Grace. He doesn't want to start pairing off with new people because he's actually trying to win some money now. And I think he's pretty much sticking with this for the long haul. But the connection is just not as strong. It's not there to me.
Yeah, I think he's trying to win by laying low.
Yeah.
Basically, if everybody's self-destruct, I'll be the last man standing, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as they're getting ready for bedtime, Mimi and Uma are feeling good.
Yeah.
Emma decides that she's going to sleep upstairs since she broke things off with Connor. Connor and the bombshells decide to sleep outside.
Okay.
So it's the next day. Will makes Uma a coffee.
Okay.
Josh makes Mimi a coffee.
Nice.
Reuben also makes Uma a coffee.
Oh,
so she has 2 coffees.
I feel you.
Mm-hmm. So Josh grabs Mimi for a chat.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes her to the hideaway terrace.
Now, stop right here. This is very important. This is not like Love Island USA to where the hideaway is closed and then they open it.
Right.
This always been open.
Mm-hmm.
And Ayo and Mimi always been together. Why haven't Ayo take Mimi into the hideaway?
Mimi said, this is my first time.
Oh, boy.
And when she walked in, he had a drink there waiting for her.
Wow.
That was nice.
Mm-hmm.
He asked what she's looking for in a guy, and she said a guy that's sure, confident, no wandering eye, who's very sure about her. He thinks that she's bubbly, and it'll probably take the right person to get that out of her.
Okay.
He thinks that they would go well together, and she agrees. They end up making a handshake that actually gets him a kiss at the end. So Josh recommends that they get into the jacuzzi, and they do, and they're pretty close and kissing, and it was a cute little hot, fiery little scene.
What is your thoughts on that scene?
My thoughts are I like the way that Josh was direct with Mimi. Yeah. And I like that he put the pressure on her so she knew that he was into her. Yeah. I don't know. I normally wouldn't want to compare like Ayo and Josh, like these are 2 different people. I was going to ask you next. But my thing is I kind of have to compare. Like Ayo was never that sure. He was never that direct. He never applied the pressure on her in that way. I think Ayo mostly applied the pressure so he can get some kisses, but not really to get this strong connection built up to where they could feel strongly about each other. I think Ayo and Mimi in a way too, they just kind of wait and see for things to happen. Yeah. And I felt like Josh was more of somebody who's like, I'm going to come in and make something happen. Yeah. So. And
that's why I like Josh. And Mimi, because I like Josh for you, right? You're not going to get a lot of chances now, Mimi. I need you to connect with this guy. I need you to hard press this guy. I don't need you to be sitting on the day beds wondering if he's gonna talk to you. I don't need you to basically be like, I like Josh, and you keep it in your head and things like that. Right. I need you to also have some initiative in how you move, initiative in your conversations, initiative in your actions. You get what I'm saying?
Yes. So Hugo and Blade are sitting on the side, and they saw Josh take Mimi to the hideaway, and Hugo's like, dang, like he took her straight to the hideaway. And Blade was like, yeah, that's fine. And I agreed, that is perfectly fine. So Emma and Reuben are talking. She doesn't have that sexual chemistry for Connor, and Reuben tells her that he does like her aura.
What, Connor? I need to bring you to the front. Maybe he don't know the mantra of this show. The mantra of the show is get the boys off the island, right? Whatever you have to do to now, you are the new Sean, and you don't want to be that. I know. You get what I'm saying? Like Connor, I have big hopes for you. And do you know what happened? The minute that you was coupled up with Grace and you apologized to Joey for it, it was over for you.
Yeah, I'd be forgetting Connor's even on the show, to be honest. I think the producers do too.
So it's just the idea of like, if you go come here and play the back seat, you give off the aura of backseat guy. So when men come in and they say, I want you, I like you, and things like that, he should have put that pressure on Grace. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
So Mimi is talking to the girls, and the chemistry with Josh is crazy.
It's crazy.
She likes that he knows what he wants. The kiss was really good too. And everybody's like, Ayo who? She is not worried or thinking about what Ayo is worried about.
But here's the thing about this, right? You have to compare. And to your point, Blair, I think you hit the nail on the head. Ayo, when you have 2 people who are boring together, it's kind of hard to point out who is the boring one, who is the one making the other one boring. And he said, Josh said that I feel like you have a bubbly personality and it takes the right person to bring it out. Right? I feel like that's 50-50. I feel like yes and no. Yeah. Right? Ayo, I feel like Ayo did not challenge her. And to your point, because Ayo didn't know what he wanted. He didn't take initiative. So it came off as if when they was talking and things of that nature, it may have seemed like paint was drying.
Yeah, it felt like they were just like drifting in the wind, no direction, just there. Yeah. And when he's talking, he's basically said, okay, enough games. Like what are you into? Tell me what you're into. Me. Communicate with me.
Yes, talk to me. Yep.
Yeah. So Grace ends up pulling Josh for a chat.
Uh-oh.
They talk about how he models, how she models part-time. She thinks Blade is nice, but they don't necessarily have that flirty banter and connection. Yeah. And he asks her, what is she looking for in a guy? She says someone who's confident, outspoken, emotionally intelligent. And he asks her, so who here do you see that you want? Like, who has that? And Grace says, well, honestly, you're beautiful, and you seem like the type that I described. So that's why I'm sitting here trying to chat with you.
Okay.
He's glad that she pulled him for a chat. He's honestly shocked she's single. The conversation, I bet, essentially he was saying, like, you're beautiful. That's obvious. Yes. But I didn't expect the chat to be this good. Apparently, she felt like maybe she was messing around with too many young boys. And he said, so you need somebody who's 29.
Now, here's the thing about it, right? Even though, I have a dashiki under my table, I can admit when someone is good looking. Grace is beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing about beautiful women or people who are too beautiful. The stigma is y'all not too smart. Or
you don't have a personality.
Exactly. So he kind of, I'm not gonna say insulted her because his intent wasn't to insult.
No,
I think he was more surprised, like, whoa, like there's more to you than your beauty. But Grace, as much as you are good at conversations, and as much as you do look your actual age compared to everybody there outside of Mimi and Uma,
all right,
stay away from Josh.
Yeah, let Mimi have this one.
Please stay away from Josh, because at the end of the day, you set up my man Omar. You set Joey on him. Right? And then you had a chance with Connor. You didn't want to do nothing with Connor. Yeah. You chose Blade.
Yes. You could have chose Messiah. Yeah.
You chose Blade. Now you don't get to come and be like, well, I'm single. No. We just recoupled and you got Blade.
Yeah.
Now Mimi, who got dumped, you gonna go and take her sloppy seconds? That's not fair.
Yeah.
Leave Josh alone, Grace. Do not make Josh seem like a bad guy.
But I will say it like this. If Mimi don't apply the pressure, Grace is going to make sure that she does.
Yes.
So I understand that Josh is in here. He's a bombshell. It's up to him to get the grafting. Yeah. But Mimi, don't be sitting on your hands, sitting on the daybed away from everybody.
Yeah.
Have conversations and bring something to the conversation. Yeah. Okay? So Grace, Matilda, Jesse, and Jessica are talking. Grace actually does fancy Josh, and the chat went well. And it did go well. Reuben pulls Uma. Will isn't really concerned. He feels that he is sure about where she stands, and she's really into him. So in the conversation with Reuben and Uma, they talk about where they're from.
Yeah.
She tells him that he has a good energy, and he says it's refreshing to see somebody with a personality to match their looks.
Yeah.
He says that he is interested in her, and he understands that it's going to take a lot to turn her head, but he is willing to go up to the challenge.
Yeah.
She is recommending that he gets to know everybody, but he knows who he wants.
Blair, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Okay. Is Will too laid back for Uma? Not just personality, just for himself, for Uma.
Is Will too laid back for Uma? I don't think so.
I think he is.
And the only reason I say that is because Uma has made a decision to like Will. So even though she's saying, I need you to do more, she's not going to open herself up to somebody else if she already feels that connection with Will.
Yeah.
Like, she's not going to allow it. I think she really is a one-woman type of girl. She wants Will to try more, but she's not going to allow another guy to get that close to her and be that physical with her when she was physical with somebody else. And by physical, I literally just mean kissing, because that's all she talked about. So
see, the reason I want to take some of your points to support my point.
All right, let's see.
Right,
see how you twist and turn me.
So I feel like because Uma likes Will and Will knows that, like, Uma likes him more than kind of he likes her in a way. It's like he knows that you are a one woman guy. You get what I'm saying? Or one woman girl rather. So it's like, yes, Reuben can talk and things like that, but I'm not worried because you're a one woman girl, right?
One man type of girl.
A one man type of girl, whatever. Y'all know what I mean. Don't correct me, right? Okay. Right. So the whole point is, I think Will is like, go ahead. You know, like, it's fine, because Will been laid back the whole time, even when he been caught in the wrong in Uma eyes.
Yeah.
He just been like we're not together. Facts, but at the same time, she's not talking off of technicality. She's talking emotionally. So even with the whole thing, it's almost like a fake threat. It's like, hey, you better try or somebody go get me. He's like, ooh, yeah, like so that's why I'm like, I think he's too laid back, because Uma kind of, once she started kissing him, I think she exposed all her cards of, I'm only for you.
Well, the thing is,
and like, I feel like he knows that.
Yeah, but I feel like you kind of didn't make the opposite point, though. I feel like you made my point. Because if he's too laid back for Uma, does that mean that Uma's going to get somebody else? What does it matter if he's too laid back then?
I'm saying he's too laid back in the sense of, I'm saying it's a bad thing in my eyes because I don't think that Will is ever going to meet Uma with that energy of like, I want you as much as you want me and things like that.
So what's the repercussions?
The repercussion is like she may be invested in a guy that's not fully into her.
But that doesn't change anything for Will's standing, right?
But my whole point is I'm looking at it from Uma's point of view. I'm like, Uma, like,
that's not a good situation for her to be in.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying he's too laid back for her because she likes him too much to the point where even though she may say that, hey, you need to try harder, he's like, I try.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, Will's not going to lose in the sense of like, because he's not in it as much as Uma is.
Right.
So that's why I feel like he's too laid back to match with Uma. Uma needs to match with somebody who can meet her with her energy and can be basically in it as much as she is.
Fair. Okay. So Matilda and Sean talk, and they're just talking about being together on the outside. They live about an hour away from each other.
Okay.
And they talk about how they'll visit each other.
Okay.
Will,
that's not gonna happen, by the way. I'm just letting y'all know.
So Will and Uma talk. Will asks how did the coffees compare, and she says, I don't know.
Okay.
She asks if he likes someone to make him coffee, and he likes making her coffee.
Okay.
He says that he feels that a guy is trying to steal his girl. So when she asks him how you're doing, he's just all right because there is this situation going on, but he's not going to let the guy take his girl. Uma says that Reuben is lovely, but her head and heart is with Will.
So why do I need to try? You already told me you're mine.
Yeah.
That's like me buying something and every time I want to use it, I have to like repurchase it again. It's like, no, I already own it.
Yeah.
You're telling me that your heart and eyes is for me, only for me. In the same breath saying, don't let him take me.
Yeah. And that's why I agree with you that it's a fake threat. Like, don't fake threaten Will, Uma, when you know that you're really not going to be turned no matter what this other guy does. If you want you guys' connection to be stronger and you need him to be more forward and you need to feel the affection coming from him, then communicate that. But don't use it as if you don't do this, then I'm going to do that, because you're not. You know? So Hugo and Io are talking. Hugo feels that the conversations with Jess are dry.
My favorite scene of the episode.
He says that there is sexual chemistry, but something is missing. He doesn't want to lead the girl on, and he knows he's going to have to talk to her about it at some point.
Keep going.
Jess and Emma are talking, but they can actually see Io and Hugo having this conversation. Emma's asking Jess how things are going with Hugo. She said things are really good, nothing bad has happened, but when she looks over, she feels like they're talking about her because they keep looking at her, and Hugo's looking really serious, and the conversation doesn't look like it's going well. Now Jess thinks that she's about to get dumped.
Yes. This is an anti-Jess show from this side of the table. I am not a fan of Jess at all. And the funny thing about Hugo and Jess, I told y'all a couple episodes ago, I said sometimes the guy can be off you based on how he see how you operate outside of him
with other people. So yeah,
Jess being a mean girl and the whole thing, he said, when I talk to Jess, I feel like it's an obligation. Like, I don't really want to talk to her. And
honestly, her conversations don't be that great. Half the time she's talking about, I'm the prize. Recognize.
You better. Like, okay, I hear you.
So it's nighttime. The girls are talking. Jessica told Io that if he's not okay, it's fine.
Okay.
And Jess says for Mimi, things with her and Io are done. So don't worry about the Io situation, Jessica. The guys are talking. Io thinks Mimi is feeling good,
she should,
but he also wants to get across how he feels. I'm just like, how many more conversations are you going to have with this girl? Can you leave her alone, please? Like, what more do you need to say that you haven't said?
What do you mean get across how he feels, Blair?
I don't know what he means by that. What you still want her to entertain you? She's off you.
I don't know what he means, so I'm not even gonna comment on it because he's
well, he said they were still looking at each other and sharing glances, like as things were like before when they were on good terms, but that doesn't mean anything to me.
But my whole point is, we need, as a people, as a YouTube community, as the commenters, all the above, what we feel with Io is that we guess what he feels, but if we actually take what he says nothing.
Yeah.
And we over here trying to say, well, maybe he's trying to like get back with Mimi and tell him how he feels. He literally says he basically want to talk to her so he can get how he feels. About what?
Yeah.
About what?
Mm-hmm. About what's your intention? And that's the thing that Io, and I feel like Mimi a little bit too, lacks. What is your intention, and what are you willing to do to get that intention completed? So
exactly. So you feel what? Like you feel like you want to recouple with her?
Right, or you just want to keep telling her that you like her for what?
It makes no sense. Let's keep going.
So Will says Uma is starting to move on from the Costa situation, and they actually had a good day today.
Okay.
The Islanders get a text that they must all gather around the fire pit.
Okay.
Josh and Reuben have to select who they want to couple with. And Josh, his speech was a little different than I expected that it was going to be.
Yeah.
He said that this wasn't an easy choice because more than one girl caught his eye. Yeah. But he did select Mimi.
Here's the thing about it, right? What is it called? Is it called a constellation prize?
Constellation prize,
right? I felt like the speech was good until the very last sentence.
Yeah.
And it felt like Mimi, let me go back to the hideaway scene for y'all. Mimi said that she wants a guy who is strictly for her. She don't want the Love Island experience. She wants the for the love of Mimi experience, right? Yeah. And my thing is, if you're going to agree to be with this girl, Josh, you need to understand that this girl don't want to be in no triangle again, right? So it kind of sound like Mimi couldn't really bask in the glory of being chosen, of being right back in a couple, because she got to look over her shoulder a little bit.
But the thing is, Mimi also needs to realize what show she's on and not expect to control other people's Love Island experience. I just don't think she's tapped into the reality of the situation.
Let's give her a chance now, because we only get judged based off of Io.
Yeah.
I think we may see an aggressive Mimi with Josh. I really do.
I hope so.
I hope I do.
I hope so.
Because I honestly do not want Grace to end up with Josh.
Yeah, I want Josh to be for Mimi, and I want Mimi to be able to have this win, but I also know that Mimi, you can't take the back seat in the situation. You got to show him a little something too.
Yeah, and I know people may look at Grace and say, oh my goodness, how could you do that to Mimi? And this is not a girls type of move. Guess what? This is, I understand. Grace, you had chances on chances on chances, and you chose to dump Blade. You did not have to dump Blade, right? But at the same time, we cannot manage Grace's experience on Love Island. If she feel like she want to talk to Josh, she go talk to Josh.
Right. So Reuben decides to steal Uma.
Okay.
Then we get a text. Will is single and he is dumped from the island.
Wow.
Uma says, I'm leaving.
So hold on. Wait.
Okay.
So you telling me, Reuben, I'm Reuben.
Yep.
I choose Uma.
Yep.
Ding.
Yep.
Reuben chooses Uma. That leaves you single.
Right.
You are dumped from the island. The girl that I just chose to be with me says, I'm leaving too.
Yep.
Reuben, I feel for you, brother. Because at that moment, I'll be like, what you mean you leaving? I just chose. Like, no, that's not how the rules go. Somebody read her the rules. What did you feel when Uma said, I'm leaving too? Were you surprised?
I was like middle of the road.
Okay.
I was really middle of the road. I felt like Uma was not going to have her head turned by anybody else. And I also feel like she wasn't going to open herself up to anybody new anyway. Like, she kissed Will. She's really into Will. And I think that's who she's going to stick with. But for her deciding to leave, I'm like, dang, Will, you kind of got to marry her now. Because if you break up with her or y'all go through some type of rough patch or something, she is going to regret leaving this Love Island experience. And I honestly feel like Uma, like, this was not the best decision. I feel like, you know, how do I put it like this? I respect Uma's decision. If she feels like she wasn't going to be open and she wasn't going to be able to move forward in the process, then yes, it probably is best that you leave. But I wish that she would have had the mindset that Will is leaving, but I'm going to be open to complete this experience because I came here for myself to see what could happen for me. I wish she would have still had an open mind to the experience.
So let's finish off this episode. I got more thoughts.
So Jess ends up telling Uma that, you know, if it's meant to be, like, he will still be waiting for you on the outside. And Uma says she's not going to stay here without Will.
Wow.
Uma pulls Will for a chat. He doesn't want her opportunity to cut short. She reassures him that she is leaving, and Will does appreciate that. Uma says that we'll continue on the outside, but the thing is we don't live close to each other. Will says that the distance is not going to stop them at all. Josh asks Reuben if he's okay, and Reuben is like, it's about them right now.
Mimi was sobbing.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, so far, based on the early episodes of this season, I've been like, Uma and Mimi are basically frenemies. But it has been proven that they are like sisters.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
They've gotten really close.
But to Blair's point, get the little girls off the island. If you feel that connected with Will, when he's eliminated, to where you can't contribute to the show, to where you can't continue the show, get the children off the island.
Yeah, then it is best that you go.
Get the children off the island. Do I think you and Will go actually stay together? No.
And the thing that got me too was during their conversation, like, Uma, like, Will, he didn't even ask you to be his girlfriend. He didn't talk about, well, when we're on the outside, let's only talk just me and you. Like, let's really focus and hone in on each other. It could literally be the same thing that's going on now, where y'all both are open and openly dating and maybe still talking. Who knows how long that talking stage is going to last?
Yeah.
Like, to me, it doesn't feel like Will is really ready to settle down with Uma.
Because he's too laid back.
Yeah.
And this is sometimes a personality to where you got one person who's all in and another person who can take it or leave it.
Yeah.
And for Uma, I don't know if that's going to work in her favor. But some would say, like, this is actually Uma being dedicated and her showing initiative on her part first. And maybe it will work that way. Maybe Will see that, Uma is the girl for him. I mean, she gave up money and a chance to win with Will. Well, what was it? To be on the show, to win the money on Love Island. Yeah. Especially since the people actually turned their votes for Uma. A lot of people was like, we are voting for Uma. We are not voting for Will. I know he's attached to her, but we want Uma to make it to the next stage. So hopefully Will show some type of commitment, but I wouldn't want somebody to miss out on that type of money on a show, even if I do like him.
Yeah.
Because now, to your point, I feel like I gotta marry you, and I wasn't even thinking about marriage.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And I feel like in a way that it's also unfair to Will. Like, Uma, I feel like that'll come up if y'all go through some things. Like, you're gonna be like, I left Love Island for you, Uma. I really don't think you should have. But if you really were going to be like in a pissy attitude and not be able to continue on, then we don't need to see you.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Y'all be good. We will be back tonight with Love Island USA. Subscribe, like, share, comment. I would like to hear your thoughts on this episode. We will see you then. Bye.